Test, everybody. So, for those of you that were here while we were doing the mic test, this is The Proper Pint. My name is Brian Pierce, and I'm your host for, I don't know, the next couple minutes as we chat through this. So, what is The Proper Pint? The Proper Pint is a live show where we come to fun breweries here in the DFW area, and we kind of take things that we would learn on the tour, things that we would learn from fine gentlemen like Corey Dickinson chatting in the tap room. And we would bring it to you in a fun, little bit different fashion for you to enjoy while you're drinking some of the great beer here at Community Beer Company. So, is everybody pretty excited to be inside when it's 104 degrees outside?
Yeah!
Woo! I can only imagine that craft beer that you guys are having is tasting really good going down. So, yeah, definitely, you guys can check us out, The Proper Pint. We're on all that social crap. If you do it, find us. If not, that's okay too. We're out there if you want to get into it. We're joined by two extremely fun faces from Community Beer Company today as we're going to chat through this for the next couple minutes. So we really appreciate their time to come chat with us. On my left, your right, is Kevin Carr. Kevin, opposed to me doing a horrible job of kind of giving everybody an idea of who you are, I figured it'd be best to let you actually tell everybody who you are and kind of what Community is to you.
Okay, well, I'm the founder of Community Beer Company. Started down this road to open a brewery many years ago. Lots of hard work and effort to get there. But now, I kind of work for these guys, my team and the brewers and everyone else who makes this happen. So I just kind of fill in where needed.
Right on. And I could imagine that you're semi-excited about how awesome things have been and the amount of people that are here, 2.5, 3.5 years after you've opened the doors?
Yeah, totally. It's a bit surreal, actually. And actually just driving in, I was with my fiance, and people were waiting in line to get in, and I told her, I said, I will never take this for granted. It's just, every time, it's just always cool to see, and to see the support of people, not only, pursuing craft beer in general, but, coming to us and seeing us as a source to get good craft beer. It's just gratifying, to say the least.
And to not be in 104 degrees outside while enjoying that craft beer.
Indeed.
On my right, on your left, is the fabulous Corey Dickinson.
Yeah.
Now, for those of you who don't realize, all the craziness that's going on in here is up to this man. He's the taproom guy, he's the marketing guy, so if you're out there on the social world, you probably like a lot of stuff that he puts up.
That's debatable.
So, you may not like it, but it's out there.
Yeah, right. Fun.
So, Corey, in the same regard, kind of give us a little bit of an idea of who you are, what you do, how you kind of make what happens here happen.
Man, the tap room and everything that we do here is kind of an extension of who we are as a company. Kevin kind of had this idea that, obviously he wanted to brew some fantastic beer, but we needed a facility that we could actually bring people together through quality beer, reach out to our community, and kind of become a cultural hub for the DFW area. So the tap room and all the events that we do and our tour and open house is just an extension of that, where we want to bring people together under one roof to enjoy some damn good beer, check out the local art scene, the local music scene, and so we're doing stuff, every week, multiple days of every week, all sorts of stuff, nonprofit fundraisers, which we have one going on right now actually in the tap room in conjunction with our tour, marathons, cycling-related events, dog adoption events. I mean, we're all over the place, but the idea is really just to have fun time with your neighbors, drinking good beer.
I don't know why, but right when you said cycling events, for some strange reason, I just had a picture of a bunch of guys riding like little traveling bicycles around the tap room. Has anything like that ever happened?
Well, that's a good idea, though.
Not yet.
Some little tricycle races or something?
Yeah, we'll write that down.
Yeah.
We'll do it.
No, I'm a cyclist myself. Kevin is also a cyclist.
Now, cyclists, like you look good in Lycra, or you actually ride a bicycle?
Can't do the Lycra thing, man. Can't do it. I drink too much beer. But try to cancel out all the beer drinking with riding a bike.
I understand.
But no, it's another kind of intertwined cultural, / industry that goes along well with craft beer. And so, it's been a great supporter of us, the local cyclists and whatnot. So,
that's awesome.
Nice, yeah.
And it's good that the community is supporting the community. So, I mean, that's the way that it should be, for sure. And one of the things when I was talking and kind of doing some research, I said, and I've been to a lot of breweries, doing beer tours, all that kinds of stuff, having a good time.
Sounds like hard work.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, this isn't my day
life.
job. I'm here as a hobbyist, just having a good time with everybody out there like they are. So, the big question, though, is I wanted to talk about how big this place is, because I think that if you're going to open a brewery, you're like, I'm going to try to not have the biggest place. I'm going to try to keep all my costs down as much as possible, but getting a huge building like this and then having such a ginormous tap room, I can imagine then that what you guys do, the events that you put on that Corey was talking about, was obviously in that plan from the beginning. And that's why you would come into such a big space from the get-go.
Yeah, that's true. A lot of people come in here, it's like, it's just so voluminous, so huge. You guys must have all kinds of money to pay for this space.
Yes.
And the reality is, that's not true. The reality is, when I was doing research on opening a brewery, I went to places in Colorado and Portland and California. Anytime I could talk to a brewer or a brewery owner or someone who worked at a brewery, I just wanted to sponge up information. And the thing that I heard over and over again is, if you're going to start a brewery, make sure you have enough space to grow into. Especially given what's happening in the market today, and if you run out of space, you're dead in the water. Right. So what we've done is
10 breweries around you in no time.
Yeah, exactly, and growing. So what we've done is we've kind of taken that risk to invest in our future, so that we can have space to grow into. And in fact, 2.5 years later, we're doing our first major expansion. It doesn't look like it now. It's been over, a 6-month, 7-month process, but we've laid the slope floors and the plumbing and new chiller on top and glycol lines and electrical, and now we've got tanks coming in the next couple of weeks, over 6 weeks, to more than double our capacity. And if we didn't have the space to grow into to handle a growing operation, I don't know what we would do at this point.
You put it on the roof, and then unfortunately nothing would be chilled. So as you guys, with the space and the tap room and all that kinds of stuff, I just have to ask, I was like, for both of you guys, especially Corey, because you're in the tap room all the time doing all this kinds of stuff, what's been the best event for you to attend? Well, and then on top of that, and not the Lycra wearing cycle guys, we all know, but with that, like, has there been an interesting thing that may have happened, may haven't happened, that maybe wasn't an event, but it was something that you were just like, wow, maybe a random arm wrestling competition or something that broke out, and you were like, that only happened because everybody was here?
Yeah, let me think. My favorite event of all time. This one right now. No, it is. That's the cool thing about it, is every day is different, and every day, you bring something new into the tap room or into the brewery, and they all are unique and fun in their own way, which is an amazing thing, because you come to work every day and every day is different. Some of my favorite events, our Design District Market is coming up in a few weeks on the 29th. That brings a lot of local businesses, a lot of local artisans to our space, where we have 50 or 60 vendors displaying what they do, whether it be artwork, whether it be leather goods, whether it be stuff for your mustache. It's all over the place, but it's great to be able to support the local community like that. Live music, local bands, and it's basically a huge flea market where people are drinking good beer, which is awesome. I love those kind of things. But the most surprising event that we've done actually didn't take place under these four walls, but it originated here. To me, community goes on tour. So what we do, and actually this is going on next Saturday. You like that plug, by the way?
By the way.
That's why he does the marketing.
It is sold out. But we do them every couple of months. And what we do is we rent a school bus and load that school bus up with people who like to drink good beer. Meet here, do a little VIP tour. You get a custom glass, you get a t-shirt, and we release small batch beers at 3 or 4 locations around town, some of our accounts. So we want, and bring people there. They pair food to those beers. So we basically do an old school bar crawl on a school bus.
So that's not creepy at all.
It's amazing. And it's a really cool thing to not only get to give back to our accounts and say, hey, thank you for the support, thank you for carrying our beer, but it's a lot more intimate, and you get to talk to everybody that's on the bus. All 40 passengers. Who are they? Where are they from? Why are they into craft beer? Why are they on the bus? And you really get to connect with people that are drinking your product outside of these four walls. And I love that event. The last time we did it, long story short, at the end of it, we ended up having a hula hoop contest because somebody was a self-proclaimed hula hoop champion. So we stopped on the way back at Target and got some hula hoops and came back here with 40 people and had a hula hooping contest.
As you should when you're having a good time.
Everybody's completely sober, but that's probably one of my favorite things to do. Honestly, is goes on tour. That's a great event.
I like
a lot of fun. Yeah.
Too bad it's already sold out.
We'll be doing another one though. We do it every like 2 months or so. We're averaging. So
Wicked. We'll have to check that out because that does sound like a good time.
Yeah.
I'm not a hula hooper, but we'll see if we can come up with another game for the end of the evening. What about yourself? I mean, is that an event that you guys put on that you had here that you're totally into, or is there something else that kind of means a little bit more that you guys have put on, or just random greatness that you've seen occur?
Well, I really like the Saturday tours. I mean, that in of itself is cool, and you get local artists and bands and people just hanging out, having a good time, and talking to us, and us talking to them, and drinking our beer. But it's really cool that the diversity of events that we do often just kind of come to us. Not that we're necessarily creating a lot of them, although we do. Is that it's just you get just a good slice of the community. The diversity in the community and different people. And I really kind of, it takes a lot of work for us to clean out this space and do it, but every now and then we'll have formal events. We'll have, wedding rehearsal dinners and stuff like that. And it's cool to just be a part of people having seminal moments in their life.
Absolutely.
On top of that, just with the different events, we've had people that have met each other at the brewery and started dating and gotten engaged and came back and, or come back and propose here.
We'll have to find out if that has happened today.
Maybe. So, it's a good place to pick up people, I guess.
Oh, you like beer? I like beer. Hello. So talking of the beer, let's dive into that a little bit more. So when you guys started, Christmas 2012, I believe it was when you guys were really officially starting to brew your community beer. But why did you guys choose the styles that you did? You came out with X amount, the styles that you had chosen. Why those styles, and what brought you to that for that first batch?
Well, some of what we started with was just what we could pull off by the time we had our grand opening. So, it was kind of driven by that. But it's an interesting question because, this was way back in 2013 in the olden days. Like, so much has happened in 2.5 years. The industry has just exploded and changed and grown so quickly. Our initial take was we wanted to come out with beers that were approachable. Because keep in mind, an even larger percentage of the population didn't really have craft beer on their radar.
Right.
They drank a lot of macro brands.
Because you guys are making all these plans in 2012.
That's right. So, our first release was a pale ale, and we called it pale ale because we wanted people to understand what it was called. We didn't want to give it some weird, cute name. We came out with Vienna Lager. Primarily, too, because our head brewer had some success with that before at a previous brew pub that he had. And then we came out with our public ale, which actually, had a little bit of a name to it, had a meaning to it, and actually went on to win back-to-back
very, very
JBF medals.
Awesome.
Drinking it now. But, as we've done more releases, we didn't want to do an IPA because, everyone does IPAs. Well, we did an IPA, and it took off, So and then as we started introducing more and more beers, we got a little more creative with the names because the market was starting to really understand craft beer, and a lot of times beers with great names did better. So that also allowed us to not only get creative with our beers that we were making, but we got creative with some of the names and having fun with it. We had for our Legion, we had a contest where we let the public pick.
Like 400 something submissions, I think I remember you talking about.
That was a lot of fun. 430 something entries. Some of them would never have made it onto a label of beer.
You're surprised they wrote it down in the first place?
Or it might have and made us look really bad.
Yeah. Or really good.
But you guys, what's the Brett's one? Now I'm totally brain farting.
Brett's Get It On?
Brett's Get It On. Yeah,
Brett's
that's
Get It On.
There it is. That's an awesome name. So, do you guys do that generally? Trying to find, do you have your cute name party in the back where it's just 6 of you guys, or do you go social and try to get everybody involved?
It's not as glamorous as you think.
It's not.
It's on the dirty couch in the back that you guys.
It's usually a group of the brewers and us sitting around in front of the brew house. What are we going to call this thing? Someone will say a name. That's stupid. What are we calling it? That's dumb. You're calling him. Oh, that might work. And something sticks, and that's what we call it.
Yeah.
Corey named Razzie. Razzie came from him because he wrote it on a tap handle.
Because it fit on a piece of tape. That's why. But it stuck. And that's kind of, Brett's Get It On came from one of our volunteers who may have had an extra beer or two that day and was like, oh, Brett's Get It On, joking around. And then we thought about it, and we're like, actually, that's kind of a cool name.
It's a great name,
And it's the ones that that stick and kind of have an interesting play to it that I think have worked really well for us. And Legion was one of those, man. Doing that, this social media kind of contest, and then we incorporated our accounts into it. We had them voting on it. That was a really cool process, and then all of a sudden you feel like your supporters in your neighborhood kind of owns that style of beer. They own it because they helped develop it almost. So the guy who submitted Legion, we have
Ben
him out.
Bascombe.
Yeah, Dan.
Ben
Dan.
Bascombe.
We basically hooked him up. We're like, all right, we're gonna throw you a party and get a case of beer off the bottling line every month, and he's in here all the time, and it's been a really cool thing for him, and to share that with him and all of his friends and family. And he's like, yeah, he sees his beer kind of out on the shelves. It's really cool. It's a cool thing.
Yeah, that's awesome to show respect to those people that have kind of helped you guys out and been such a big part.
Yeah.
So you guys said we didn't do an IPA right away because everybody's doing an IPA. We've done an IPA, done great, especially because it's got a cute name, or maybe just because it tastes good. I think it's probably because it tastes good, but it also has a cute name. But you kind of see a shift as well that this is a new style. People are following that style. So I think some of those is the Goza is a style that we see a lot of right now, and then strangely adult root beer I think is starting to make a huge push into the craft beer world. So I wanted to know,
I can't see us doing it.
Adult root beer is making a huge push, and by no means am I like adult root beer, but it's a thing. People are making it, and it's becoming a bigger thing within the craft beer industry. So when you see that kind of push, how do you guys treat that? Do you go, oh well, I like Gozas, we'll make a Goza, or that's never going to happen within what you guys see becoming cool in the industry?
Well, a lot of it comes from just us being beer connoisseurs.
Okay.
And so, a lot of these styles weren't invented yesterday. They've been around for ages.
Maybe adult root beer, because people are weird.
Well, maybe that one, yeah. But, I think it's, as beer, people who love good craft beer, and on the brewing side, they want to keep their artists, and they want to keep pushing the envelope and doing different things and staying interested. And whether they've done that style before on a small batch system, on a commercial system, or whether they've never done it and they want to try it, that's kind of a creative outlet. And I know it's true for us, but I think that's true for a lot of breweries. We'll do a pilot batch, we'll dial it in, and oftentimes we'll do it on a big batch, or we'll just go for the gusto and just do it on a big batch. But I think to answer your question, with the growth of the industry and so many breweries coming in and so many good brewers out there, if you're going to open a brewery and initially in a smaller space, a smaller market nationwide, you're going to want to have beers right down the middle. You don't want these beers off the beaten path that are, these extinct styles. Oftentimes you just will go with something right down the middle, but then as you do that and as the industry does that, some of these outlying styles that have been around for ages are now, it's like, what else can we do? Well, there's this style, and people don't do it much. And everyone kind of has the idea, and all of a sudden you see Gozas. There's a lot more Gozas on the market. You see a lot more session IPAs on the market. Or people have fun and do a smash IPA, single malt, single hop type of IPA. And I think it's really kind of the industry as itself, on its own, kind of driving what breweries want to do.
Yeah, I gotta agree.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think a lot of it comes from what people are passionate about in the industry. And if, as a microcosm, you look at our brewers, and Jamie, fundamentally, he's like really into very traditional styles of beer. Vienna Lager and Public Ale are great examples of that, where they are traditional styles of beer that have been brewed for thousands of years to some extent. And he's really into that too. Whereas you look at somebody, Quinn is really into IPAs. I like sour beers for sure. I'm drinking a lot of sours lately. But
You were a warhead kind of guy back in the day, weren't you?
Oh man, lacto.
Still are.
But you work with these guys every day, so it's a constant like, hey, have you tried this, or have you thought about this, or you bring in bottles to work. So we do have times where it's like, everybody needs to try this beer that somebody just came out with. This is freaking awesome. We need to think about what they're doing and how they're doing it, and what can we do to maybe play off of this a little bit, or use something as inspiration for us, saying let's take another step forward past what this brewery did and make it our own. But it comes from the underlying passion and what people are drinking and what they're into, and I think that's the case with breweries all over the country, where Goza came from somebody who that's a revitalized style. Same thing with Berliner Weisses, where that was a dead style. But there were a few American brewers that felt really passionate about that and really, really liked that style of beer. And so slowly but surely it made its way back onto the market, because it's a style of beer that when done right, it's fantastic. And people that are making beer can understand that, man, that's a really good beer. Jamie hated sours, but I'll tell you what, you put a fantastic sour in front of him, and all of a sudden he's like, this is amazing. And let's think about can we do something like this here at Community? So I think the underlying reason is that it starts in the breweries around Pennsylvania.
So going with that passion and that idea of trying to make new and better beer. What is next? What's down the pipeline? Like, in the sense of that maybe we'll see in the next couple months, or maybe even like, what do you see happening with kind of Community and what you guys might brew or do in the next couple of years?
Well, kind of what we're working on now, just in the process of running a business and being a brewery business is, we have our standard planned rotation of seasonals. We're coming up on the cold months, and then we're going in the spring and the hot months. So, there's some plans that we have, but the cool thing about us being 2.5 years into the game is now we have this history of stuff that we put out in small batches, or we did a little of this, did a little of that, and we'll get good response or feedback from the public, the community. And then, once we get people asking for a certain style of beer, oftentimes we did one batch of Ascension Coffee Porter, and people loved it. So we did a second batch. And it won a bronze at GABF. And so now we're doing it in the fall in 4-packs. So a lot of times what we do will be driven by the stuff we've thrown out there and that have come back with positive feedback and requests, and so we're going to do it. But on top of that, we've always wanted to do an Oktoberfest and didn't have the bandwidth. This year we're going to do an Oktoberfest, and we're going to throw an Oktoberfest party, which will be fun. You should come.
It's it's almost September, right? So we should be aware when it's coming out fairly soon, right?
That's right.
Okay.
Soon enough. But the coolest thing,
September.
The coolest thing that we're going to do, I think, is, and we've done this before. We did a small batch. We put it out at a festival, and got great feedback. Is we took our Mosaic IPA and we oaked it up. We put oak spirals in it to give it this oaky, interesting flavor in an IPA, which almost in a small way, kind of subdues the hop character, but not too much. It kind of really works together. Interesting kind of style that we decided to try, got good feedback on, and that's one of the things we're going to brew in the fall in kegs and in 4-packs. So that's new and kind of innovative in some way on what we've done that stuck, and now we're going to do it, at least in the fall, probably full time.
That's awesome. Well, that's good to hear that we're going to have an Oktoberfest on the way, and then of course that the Mosaic IPA in the barrels sounds awesome. So I'm looking forward to that. That sounds like really good. But what about yourself there in your tap room that you control, run, and have complete free reign over? That everyone should be so thankful that Corey Dickinson puts all this together.
Certainly not a one-man act by any means. I think the goal for us is just to continue to diversify the events that we're doing. Play off the ones that have been successful, like beer styles, really. The events that we've done that have really worked, to continue to grow those and to grow our loyalty. But the idea is always just to get people in our doors. Kind of put a face to a name so people can identify our product when they see it on shelves and say, I've met the guys who make this beer. I've seen where it's made. I've drank it on site. It creates a brand loyalty for sure. And so, in the tap room, we got some things coming up. I mentioned it goes on tours next week. We got a craft beer and artisan cheese pairing coming up. That's always a lot of fun. That'll be our third time doing that. Just awesome, sells out almost every time. The big anchor event that we always look forward to is our anniversary party in January. We start hoarding beers for that. We've already started, but I think last year we had, how many was it, dude? It was like 23 beers or something.
It was a crap ton.
It was a crazy amount of beer, but those are bigger ones. But we have a lot of stuff coming up, and it's important to check out their Facebook page, our website. Literally, it's new events every single week. It's pretty impressive. So, and I think a big focus of ours is to start shifting our ability to host events towards the non-profit charity kind of aspect of the world. And so we have some works to kind of play on we have a slogan, beer for the greater good here, and I think we really want to develop that into something more concrete. And so Kevin and I kind of have a loose plan of how we're going to do that. But I think a main goal of ours is to certainly kind of grow our ability to give back to the community through nonprofits and fundraisers and that kind of thing. So, yeah.
So lots in the pipeline, I could imagine. It sounds like it's going to be good times for all as you guys kind of move through 2015 into 2016. So definitely thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it. I've had a lot of fun sitting here talking with you guys.
Happy to have you out.
You're like, no, this wasn't fun at all. You suck. You're like, yeah.
I already said it was my favorite event we've already done.
I mean, I wasn't lying. Seriously, it's fun. No, but I really appreciate the time. Of course, Kevin, Corey, you guys are awesome. You guys even did a really good job. You made my job look easy, which I really appreciate because this laptop actually doesn't have any notes on it.
Did you get all your questions in?
No, but that's okay.
That's probably a good thing.
Yeah, I know. It's like, the one about your Friday nights though, that one was coming up. I've heard that you had. I'm just kidding.
But honestly,
no one told me anything.
It's
You just got me in trouble with my
guys
fiance.
like you, seriously, it's guys like you and kind of what you're trying to do, man. We love having you guys out. Trying to showcase this industry and kind of all it really has to offer. It's more than just turning out an alcoholic beverage. It's about the culture behind it and the passion behind it and the people that, whether you're in the industry yourself, whether you're enjoying our beer, coming to our events, it really is. It's a tight knit family kind of thing, and so when we get an opportunity to have people like you out, I mean that's what we're all about. Really, it is. That's why I'm in the industry. I think Kevin too. So
yeah, and thank you for coming out to all of our breweries and bringing attention to what we do. Appreciate it.
We're just having fun doing it. So for those of you guys, we're The Proper Pint. You guys can find us on all the social networks. We're out there. Just search for The Proper Pint. You'll have a good time. We do hit up some of the beer festivals. So if you see us out there filming, doing interviews, please come say hi. Make sure you get interviewed and tell us what you think about all the craft beer that you're getting in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And we really appreciate everybody that's out here on a Saturday, not in 104 degrees.
Cheers, everyone.
Drinking
Cheers.
awesome
Cheers.
craft beer. Thank you very much. Goodbye.